Hello and welcome back to this episode of the Engage A podcast. I am Josh with my co-host Mike. Today we have an update for the NBA and Stanley Cup Finals. The NBA is 1-1 after two games, and the Stanley Cup Finals is 2-1 Florida. But before we get into that, we do have some studs and duds of the week. I will start with my first stud of the week, and I'm going to go with the Oakmont Golf Course in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the setting for the U.S. Open this weekend. It looks like quite a doozy. People are saying I saw Dustin Johnson say that this is the hardest course to play in the country, and they asked him what second place was, and he said there is nothing close to Oakmont. The rough is like 10 feet tall. They have the church pew bunkers in the middle of the fairway. We've seen people at this course. I believe we've had over par winners at this course before. Ben Griffin, I think, said that he uh, it wouldn't be shocked to see an over par winner at this point. Rory said he shot an 81 in a practice round. This uh this is gonna be an interesting U.S. Open, but the U.S. Open is the tournament that's supposed to be the hardest one to win. It's the hardest courses usually. Um, so we'll see. This is gonna be a very interesting weekend, and I'm excited to see it. I'm rooting for an over par winner for sure.
Yeah, seeing an over par winner would be electric. It's every year it seems like they say it's a hard golf course, but this year seeing all the clips of them in the rough trying to hit the ball, it looks almost impossible
Yeah,
just to even get the ball in the air. They're probably going to struggle. Rory McIlroy's been struggling already at the Canadian Open last week. He played terrible.
once
Did
they
not
gave him
make
a
the
legal
cut.
driver.
Yeah, he has not been able to recover from whatever was going on with his driver. We have seen Scotty Scheffler. Obviously, he has recovered. He's won twice since losing his driver, but I guess they were supposed to keep the names of the people who had gotten illegal drivers quiet and like not let the public know. But so that's why a couple weeks ago he didn't want to talk to the media,
Yeah.
and that's part
Scotty
of it.
also
But
got with an illegal driver and then
yeah,
still won the tournament.
yeah, he's been
So
great even since. But I tend to always make bets for the golf majors, and I've been pretty good in the past, but I have really no idea what to do here.
me neither. I might just look up like who's played decent at this course in the past and just bet all them.
Yeah, I might just go with who puts their drivers in the fairway most often and just can keep it on the fairway essentially.
Yeah, that does not favor your boy Bryson DeChambeau.
No, well, we'll have to see. McIlroy has not been good at it. He's 173rd out of 179 golfers with his new driver, or
That's
since he's lost his
crazy.
last driver. So
That's
he has been
crazy.
more than struggling. I will not be betting Rory.
I think he would trade a horrible PGA season for that Masters all day though, so
Yeah,
I think
100%.
we'll be fine with that.
Um, it's the first he okay. So Scotty Scheffler has played here before, but it was when he was an amateur in 2016, and he
Okay.
missed the cut, but he was an amateur, and that was 9 years ago.
Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I hope we have big names on the leaderboard going into day three and four. I'm hoping.
I think if I'm correct, 17, 18 might be the last time they played here. Or no, never mind, never mind. That's a lie. I was reading it wrong. But yeah, Bryson's looking to be the first person to defend his US Open title since Brooks did it in 17, 18.
Gotcha.
So,
We'll see.
yeah, on to my stud of the week. I have gone with Carlos Alcaraz tennis winning one of their Grand Slams at the Roland Garros in France on clay. He is now being deemed the Prince of Clay behind his idol,
Rafi.
Rafael Nadal. Was honestly one of the best. I don't watch that much tennis, but I did tune in for a good chunk of this game. They played for 5 hours and 39 or something minutes, a very long time, or 5 hours and 29 minutes. Long game. I couldn't imagine playing tennis for that long and going back and forth all game. It went to the fifth and final set. It was 6-6, so they do just basically first to 10 wins, and he was able to beat Yannick Skinner in that. I'm pretty sure this was their first time playing in a Grand Slam final against each other, maybe just a final in general, but neither of them had lost in a Grand Slam final, so something had to give, and Carlos Alcaraz wins his fifth Grand Slam, his second Roland Garros. And crazy stat, Rafael Nadal won that tournament 14 times, which is just absolutely ridiculous.
That is crazy.
But congrats to him, and he's those two look like the future of tennis, I guess.
Yeah, shout out to Mio Fratello Skinner. I'm really hoping that he could have a dominant career for Italy.
Yeah.
But yes, we will. What was my stud of the week or my dud of the week? Oh, and I do have another stud actually. Um, the Pittsburgh Pirates are over 500 under Donnie Kelly since Derek Shelton
Oh yeah.
got
You've been talking
fired.
about that, yeah.
So
That's big time for the Pirates
Pirates are
organization.
back. Maybe I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah, definitely not. But my dud of the week is the New Orleans Saints. They're the only team that really didn't get any answers in this carousel of quarterbacks that we had in the NFL offseason. Of course, we see Aaron Rodgers sign this week with the Pittsburgh Steelers as expected. Fields went to the Jets. Russell Wilson went to the Giants. It seemed like every team that didn't have like a surefire quarterback starting ended up either drafting somebody high in the draft in the first round or got a veteran quarterback to come in there and play their role. They lost Derek Carr. They drafted Tyler Shue in the second round, but they don't have like that surefire guy that's going to go out there and be able to at least give you a couple wins. So the Saints kind of got screwed here by Derek Carr in this carousel. But I don't think they wanted Carr. I don't think Carr wanted to play for the Saints. So I think it's fine regardless. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers signs with the Steelers. Seemed pretty obvious that was going to happen eventually. We also have news that he is married and has been married for a few months, he said. So good for him. He likes to keep it secret. I'll say it. I've been saying it over and over again since the end of last season. Aaron Rodgers is significantly better, at least he was last year, than Russell Wilson and obviously Mason Rudolph. Like, if you're a Steelers fan and you're not happy about this, that means you're probably rooting for your team to lose, which I get. If you want to just be bad and tank and get a quarterback, and that's why you're mad at Rodgers, that's fine. I get that. Like, Rangel is that way. He wants to lose and he has Rodgers and he's not happy. I get that then. But if you just don't like Rodgers and you don't want him to be your quarterback and you are actually convinced that Mason Rudolph and or Russell Wilson would have been a better option than Aaron Rodgers, then you just didn't watch football last year because when Rodgers got in his rhythm towards the back end of the season, he was a 40-year-old coming off an Achilles injury. He was finally starting to get healthy again. He was playing pretty well for the Jets. They weren't producing wins, but he was playing well himself. So I think Rodgers is going to be good on the Steelers. I think we see another over 500 season, and they'll probably sneak in the playoffs, I bet.
Yeah, with Rodgers, I can see them sneaking into the playoffs, getting over 500. With Mason Rudolph, I see absolutely no chance of that happening. And that's exactly it. If you're rooting for them to lose, you didn't want them to get Rodgers. And if you're rooting for them to win, you needed them to get Rodgers. Mike Tomlin isn't the type of coach that really can go out there and probably tank. I don't see him doing something like that at all. And even if Mike Tomlin tanks, he would probably need job security to know because these seasons of not winning in the playoffs but being good enough, they are going to get you a little bit on the hot seat. And if you have a bad season, finish with a top 7 draft pick, Mike Tomlin probably would actually get fired at that point. But with the Saints, they're in the position now. I think they're just going to look to lose. They've been in such a bad cap situation for so long. It's time to finally just lose, try to get a top 5 draft pick and get a quarterback of the future. Maybe Arch Manning. The Manning family has deep roots in Mississippi, so or well, Mississippi, not Louisiana. That was a bad comparison, but his I meant to say I'm pretty sure their grandpa Arch. What's the oldest Manning?
Arch?
It is Arch then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arch Manning. He played for the Saints, is what I was trying to say, not
Okay.
Mississippi. But they have roots there, so that would be interesting to see if he can follow his grandpa's footprints if he still becomes the top option at quarterback in
Yeah,
the
it's big
draft.
for the Saints. They have roots in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Gotta clip
Um,
that.
yeah, I meant to talk about the Saints there, but
Yeah, yeah.
for my dud of the week, I have 2 duds. The first one I'll talk about is the New York Knicks coaching search so far. They have requested to interview Chris Finch. That was denied. They've requested to interview Ime Udoka. That was denied. And they've requested to interview Jason Kidd. That was a firm no, is what I'm pretty sure they said. Shams said. So they have fired Tom Thibodeau and responded by trying to interview every coach they possibly can that is already on a team that is made the playoffs or has the number 1 draft pick coming in and will probably be a very good team in the future. I don't know why they would even really attempt to do that unless they think that the coaching the New York Knicks is just way better than anything else in the league, which I don't believe it is. But I just really you kind of know that you're not going to get a chance to those guys, so I don't know what they're doing that for.
Yeah, I mean, it is the concrete jungle where dreams are made of.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can't do there. So I'm not shocked that they tried to go after a couple guys. I thought Jason Kidd might be one they might be able to poach. especially with the Luka thing. And that was all James Dolan, from what I've heard, is that he's heavily involved in this coaching search, which is you always love to see that an owner heavily involved. It's always a
Yeah,
good thing.
it always ends up perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see who they end up getting. Maybe they get a young guy. They're the only coaching opening in the entire NBA right now. So we'll see. I don't understand wanting Chris Finch though.
I
I
think
don't.
Chris Finch can be. I think he's a pretty good coach.
Is that an upgrade over Tibbs though?
That I don't think so, but it
Neither
does. I
is
think
Jason Kidd probably.
they said the firing was spearheaded by James Dolan as well.
Yeah,
Does spearheaded mean
yeah.
he threw the spear at the head? I'm assuming.
Basically, basically, yeah, basically. Speaking of owners, though, we might as well talk a little Ishbia here. Suns finally ended their head coaching search, but I don't really even want to talk about that. Ishbia seems like he's saying he kind of wants to get more involved now, which is annoying. More involved with Ishbia just means that he's going to hire everybody from the state of Michigan that's ever lived there. So if you currently
Go
live in the
green.
state of Michigan or you were born there, get ready. You're probably going to be working for the Suns in some capacity or the White Sox in
Well,
the future.
you have to have links with Michigan State. I'm assuming.
I don't think so. I think there's some University of Michigan guys in there too now.
No chance he wouldn't do that.
Pretty sure. Which I hate. That's how you run an organization. Is it an upgrade over a racist like Robert Sarver? Yes, but you got to win basketball games. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with KD, and I guess we can talk on that too. It's kind of heavily rumored that KD wants to go to the Spurs now and play with Wemby, which would be interesting. Chris
Yeah, and
Paul and
Sentil,
KD.
and I'm pretty sure Sentil posted it, which Sentil isn't always wrong. It's just early.
Yeah, they are early. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe Sochan, Vassell, that 14th pick. Throw somebody else in there. Maybe that
Yeah,
gets it done.
that sounds like a lot.
A
I'd
lot?
go for no. I'm being sarcastic there,
Oh, oh,
but
oh.
it does seem like they're not going to get much, as much. Um, if I'm the Suns, there, I want why is his? I'm blanking on his name. What's the guard?
Stevan Castle?
Not Castle.
Vassell?
Or I guess Castle. No, Castle. Yeah, I would try to get him for KD if I'm the Suns, but I
Not
don't think
gonna.
that's
They
going to
will never
happen.
do it. No, rookie of the year, no chance.
Yeah.
No chance. That'd be great
Um,
though.
yeah, I have heard Chris Paul's rumored to go elsewhere too, but um, I'd
Really?
imagine he finds his way to stick with. I think it was like Los Angeles wants him.
Which Los Angeles?
Both of them.
Oh, I would love. I mean, I would love to see LeBron and CP play together.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. But I'm pretty sure he's still with the Spurs contractually, right? He's not a free agent this year.
No, I don't think so. Well, I know he's not. He's definitely not a free agent. He's on the Spurs right now.
Okay. So
Well, I
there's
guess
that.
free agency hasn't hit yet, so I guess that him being on the Spurs right now doesn't mean anything. But I
I'm pretty
don't.
sure he still has another year with the Spurs.
Here, let me go to Spot Track.
Because I saw something he was rumored to go multiple places.
Oh, I think he might
Um,
be a free agent. Uh, yeah, he's an unrestricted free agent this year.
okay, so
So there
if
it
I'm the
is.
Spurs, I'm trying to bring him back, but I can't remember. There was another team, but I can't remember it. I'll go to
Back to the
my
Suns
yeah. Honestly,
reunion.
there you go.
I'd be down.
Sign and trade.
Sign and trade. No, fuck no. Trade Katie back for Chris Paul.
Yeah, there you
Oh
go.
my god. They can
But
have Beal if they want. They can have Beal for Chris Paul. I'd do
yeah.
that.
Did you see random thing here? But you see FaZe adapted at his birthday or whatever the other day?
I did not.
He blew out his candles, and you know what his wish was?
Brad Beal to be off the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Love that. I don't know if this is real, but I heard maybe the Hornets are interested in Brad Beal, which is just hilarious.
Uh,
There's no two ways about that.
no Hornets, man.
The
The
Hornet,
Hornets will do what the Hornets want to do,
yeah,
I guess.
the Hornets are targeting Brad Beal, I guess, which is just so funny. I was looking at highest paid NBA players right now, and hold on, I wanted to pull this up. Yeah, the Suns have four with KD, five with Beal, and seven with Booker right now.
Uh,
51, 50, and 49.
at
I
least
don't
you have an
believe
owner that's
any
willing
other
to pay.
team is multiple. You said what?
At least you have an owner that's willing to pay. He might want to get everybody from the state of Michigan, but at least he wants to pay for his team. I couldn't imagine that.
I mean, it's the NBA. Everybody's paying.
I mean, not everybody's going into the luxury tax though.
Yeah, but that's also not a good thing either. Always.
It's not always a
Now they're
good
a
thing,
second
but
favorite team and they're fucked.
that's true. But it's still, I'd rather my owner care to win and pay to win.
I
At
guess the
least try
76ers have two top 10 as well. They have Embiid at 2
and have
and Paul
fun
George
players
at
to
8.
watch. Which I guess the Bulls have a decent amount of young, fun players to watch. But it's we don't have a Devin Booker, Kevin Durant type.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, gotta win games.
That's true.
Can't miss the playoffs with 3 top 10 players. Can't do it.
And and
Contract wise.
and even more on the news though, the Colts did introduce their new owners. That's all three of Ursay's daughters are going to have a major role. So that was cool. They had a pretty good press conference yesterday talking about it. But my last dud that I'll just really quickly touch on is Team USA Soccer. They World Cup starts a year from the day we're recording this on the 11th, I'm pretty sure, in America. And America Soccer is atrocious. They're terrible. They stink. They lost four. They were down 4-0 by 35 minutes yesterday
Against
to
who?
Switzerland.
Are they
Uh,
good?
Switzerland's good, but they're not 4-0 down in the 35th minute. Good.
Yeah.
They lost to Turkey in the game before that. Then they've lost to Canada and Panama. They've lost their last 4 games under their new coach, Pochettino. They're just terrible.
Bring
It's
back
kind of
Berhalter.
sad. Yeah, maybe Berhalter was like the greatest coach of all time. Who knows?
Yeah, you might have been,
Yeah.
bro. Bring back Greg.
But on top of that,
Round
Pulisic is
3.
like 25 and refuses to play in games like this. That
Oh, he's not
don't
playing in these?
no. But I mean, you have a like 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo playing in games that don't matter for Portugal. So I don't want to hear any excuses about your body if you're a 25-year-old in
Yeah.
America.
But at least that can give us a little bit of hope as we don't have our best player. We don't have Captain America out there.
I don't know if there's any hope.
The LeBron of soccer.
Yeah, the LeBron of soccer
um,
without winning a championship ever.
yeah. Touching back on real football. Nick Chubb signs with the Texans. Good for them, I guess. They still have Mixon, right?
Yeah.
So now they have both Mixon and Chubb. I guess that helps. They still don't have an offensive line, so
If one old running back gets hurt, they can just toss the other one in.
the other one in, yeah, exactly. Nixon
It
was
sucks,
great last
though.
year for them too. So
Mixon was good. I love Chubb and him going to a division rival hurts, but I do hope he still has a little bit left in the tank because I think he's a great player and a fun guy to watch. But I don't want the Texans to succeed necessarily. So,
me neither. Who has Hard Knocks this year?
oh, that's a good question. Have they announced it?
I thought they did.
Because I know it's not the off-season one. Is it the Bills?
Might be the Bills. That actually kind of sounds familiar.
What year is it? 2025.
Wow.
I
Riveting
don't think that.
podcasting. They didn't decide yet.
Oh, the Bills were selected.
Okay, that's what I thought. I
I
thought they
think.
picked somebody. I think it is the Bills. I think you're right. I think I remember it being the Bills.
I'm not 100% sure. It says Bills chosen for Hard Knocks on May 21st, 2025, but I don't remember that news coming out.
I do. I remember there being news. And chosen means they have to. Like that's the funniest thing about Hard Knocks is you can't say no,
Yeah.
which is so funny.
Imagine they did that for the offseason one, like because I mean last year
Oh,
they did it to the Giants and the Giants got done so dirty with Joe
so
Schoen or
bad.
whatever. And
Yeah, just bad. We had one more piece of NFL news. What was it again?
Jair Alexander
Yeah,
being cut from the
cut.
Packers.
I think he was going to miss a lot of next season anyways. He's injured.
He's always hurt.
Yeah,
Packers fans are saying that he's going to go to a new team and play all 17 games though, and
probably.
not be
And speaking of the Bills, I heard the Bills rumored for him.
that'd be a good signing. For
Apparently,
them,
they
just
tried to trade for him before he
get
got
in
cut.
another DB. Yeah, I saw that.
So would probably be a good move for them. No chance the Lions do that. They like players that care about playing, even though they still get hurt anyways.
He might care about playing it now that he got cut though.
I guess, but
Bring
he
more
seems
of
like he's
a.
kind of a locker room issue.
I mean, he's a loudmouth, but you can have loudmouths in your locker room.
Yeah, I agree. But that's about it for
There's I got
non NBA. Oh, you got more?
the last one's Anthony Richardson.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
His shoulder injury. He attained it. I don't even know how he got this again to pop back up. It's the same AC joint sprain that he had a year and a half ago that he had surgery on. Supposed to be a top surgeon, but I don't know if he hurt it practicing or what's going on. But he's out of OTAs. They said he would be back for training camp, and now he flew to LA and is getting a second opinion on his shoulder. It's just looking worse and worse for him with the Colts. It's unfortunate. It looks like the Colts fired Morocco Brown, which has been one of their top guys that they've used to draft people in the past. And he was the main guy scouting Anthony Richardson. So I don't know how I feel about it, but
Not good.
it's looking worse and worse, and it's kind of just sad at this
They're
point.
saying it.
I wish he would
We
have been
might be in
great,
the
but
times of dimes for Indianapolis. That's what they're saying, bro.
it hurts. I'd rather watch Jason Bean play than Danny Dimes.
I mean, what if Danny Dimes is good
Or
though?
Even Riley Leonard, dude. Put Riley Leonard out there.
What if he's good?
I mean, if he's good, that's great. I mean, he has led a team to the playoffs before, but it's just I don't see it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not a great spot
I
to be
just
in
don't see it.
if you're a Colts fan.
No. My confidence level's down to about 20%.
And drafted him fourth overall, which
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, if we needed a quarterback no matter what, and it was either him or Will Levis, and really neither of them are working out, so I'm not going to be upset about that.
right. At least I didn't draft him over another quarterback that is out there playing super well or anything,
Exactly.
which is
And
big.
if they could have just like lost to the Chiefs or something early in that season, we could have CJ Stroud right now, which that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot they beat the Chiefs in what was it, like week 3 or something?
Yeah, we beat
That was a game
with
Mahomes
Matt
got
Ryan
injured
at quarterback.
on the sneak, right? Mahomes
No,
got
no,
hurt on the sneak, I thought.
no, I don't think so.
He played still.
Mahomes played the whole game.
Yeah, but he got injured, I thought. Like he hurt
Oh,
his knee
could
or
be.
his ankle or something on a QB sneak.
I don't think he does QB sneaks anymore.
I
I
mean,
don't
that
know.
was 4 years or 3 years
Well,
ago.
that was the second year he was in the NFL. He did that QB sneak and like dislocated his knee.
Was that against the Colts? I remember him getting hurt against the Colts one time
Maybe that was against the Colts.
in Arrowhead.
That was an Arrowhead. Yes, the Colts won this
Yeah.
game in Lucas Oil.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking
Jelani
of a
Woods
different
had like
game
3
then.
touchdowns out of nowhere
Jelani
and
Woods.
never played again.
Sorry, you
Yeah,
got a new tight end in there.
yeah. Thank goodness.
For Danny Dimes. But we could move on out of the NBA Finals. Since we've last recorded, there's been 2 games. The series is 1-1. We'll probably mainly focus on the first game here because it was just another epic comeback by the Indianapolis Pacers. So I just called them the Indianapolis Pacers,
Yeah,
the Indiana Pacers, who won this game on the road, game 1 against the Thunder. They were down for much of this game. They led for just zero point 0.3 seconds. Tyrese Halliburton with zero point 0.3 seconds left hits a mid-range jump shot. No bang from Mike Breen on that one. He ended up making up for it in game 2 with a shot in like the first quarter or something, which was not great. But
no.
people need to lay off Mike Breen. Look who his supporting cast is. If we're going to talk about supporting casts for stars in the NBA, we got to talk about supporting casts here. And I love RJ. I love Richard Jefferson. But when you got him and Doris Burke as your 2 and your 3, Mike Breen can't do everything as the number 1 option there. But regardless, huge win by the Pacers in game 1. This series is looking like it's knocking on the door of over if that shot doesn't go in for Tyrese Halliburton. But we've said that about almost every series for the Pacers, especially the Cavs and the Knicks ones. If Halliburton doesn't hit a crazy shot, then the Pacers are not in a good spot. But Halliburton's been one of the most clutch players in this playoffs that we've seen in the playoffs in a decade. He has just been phenomenal. 4 buzzer-beating game-winning shots essentially for him in each one of these series, 1 in each series, and that's what you got to do to win an NBA Finals. And we said before this series started, they were 500 on the road in the regular season. They come and they take one in OKC. Obviously, they lose game 2 in OKC in pretty dominant fashion. OKC led that game throughout. They were up by like, 15 and a half or something, or they were up by 18 and a half. So OKC responded. We know how good they can be when they're fully locked in, and now we're sitting at 1-1.
Yeah, they did really what they had to do in these first 2 games in Oklahoma City. They had to absolutely win one of the games in OKC, and they did just that. Aaron Nesmith was good in that game. He was plus 13 when he was on the court. Miles Turner had a solid game in game 1 as well, but it all comes down to Tyrese Halliburton, who through 2 games in this series, he's struggled against the Oklahoma City defenders, hasn't really got going, but it comes down to the last minute of the game, and he hits a huge shot to win his team the game at the last second. That's all he had to do. He hasn't played like a top level player that he can play like, but he's been all right. Nemhard has been good in the series. He had a couple clutch shots. I mean, everybody on the Pacers, when they get to that down 8 with like 3 minutes to go, they just find ways to win, and They have guys who hit clutch shots. Nemhard hit that beautiful. He had that ISO against Shea, step back, hits that three. Halliburton gets the game winner. Miles Turner hit a couple shots. Obi Toppin was great in game one. He hit multiple threes. I want to say he hit 5 threes in that game. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
5 for 8.
phenomenal.
Siakam, Neesmith hit a big three. Siakam's been the go-to guy so far for the Pacers. Struggled in game two, but he's been great. For the Thunder, they lost the game. I think they have a chance to go and take both in Indiana, but if you're the Pacers, you have to split there. Shea's been fantastic so far in this series. He's averaging 36 points per game through 2 games. He's been great in his first NBA Finals, shooting the ball well and helping his team. But it's going to all come down to if these guards can continue to lock down Halliburton like they have and then stop Siakam from scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It's 1-1 in this series. It doesn't look good for the Pacers even at 1-1. And I know they
Yeah.
took a game on the road in OKC, and now they have home court, and they have a chance to go up 3-1 if they can hold stand on home court. But it just doesn't look. I mean, they got dominated in game two. I know they only lost by 16, but they got dominated in that game. That was never really a close game. Like you said, Halliburton kind of got locked down in game two. Siakam was horrible, 3 for 11, minus 15, 15 points for him. Everybody in the starting lineup for the Pacers was minus, plus, minus. They also had Obi Toppin minus 9, Ben Mathurin minus 9, Ben Shepherd minus 8, McConnell minus 6. The bench didn't play too well for them in the plus minus category, but Ben Mathurin did have 14 and McConnell did have 11, so they were able to produce points there from the bench at least, which they're going to absolutely need if they want to win this series. Because, like you said, I don't think Halliburton's going to be able to have a dominant offensive series. That's just not how this Thunder defense lets other teams do things. They're going to have to score with their bench, and I think they can, and I think the Pacers can go win both games in Indy. It's possible. I know they haven't lost with Caitlin Clark yet, being home for the game, and I think she's going to be in
Big.
attendance for game 3 and 4,
That's big.
which is huge. The problem is game 6, she's going to be in Golden State to play the
Mm.
Valkyries. So if it goes to game 6, which it very well could, she will not be there in Indy at that game. So that could be a closeout game for the Thunder. Look at that as a possible spot for them.
Yeah, and we've talked about turnovers with this Thunder team. They just force so many turnovers. Then you look at Halliburton in the playoffs, and he hasn't turned the ball over too much. He's struggled 8 turnovers through 2 games, I believe, 5 in game 1, 3 in game 2. The turnovers are just such a crazy thing. In that game one, the first half, the Thunder dominated the first half, and I think that's where we feel like this. I mean, it's 1-1, but you just feel like the Thunder are the better team. It's
20
really
turnovers
just,
in the first half of the Pacers
yeah,
in game 1.
it was ridiculous. I mean, the Thunder have dominated pretty much 6 of the 8 quarters so far of this series. But yeah, that 20 turnover first half was it was frustrating to watch as a neutral fan, but rooting for the Pacers, I guess. It was yeah, ugly basketball. And then in game two, they still weren't great. Miles Turner had 6 turnovers in game two. Neesmith had 5. Um, I wish it showed the total, but a lot of turnovers, probably above 15 again in game two. So they're going to have to clean that up to continue to win games in the series, but I really don't know if they can. I think they're going to just have to live with them and try to not give up as many points off turnovers, and you just it's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens. I do you know the line for game 3 yet?
I do not.
You want to guess it?
I guess Thunder 4.5.
5.5. Yeah, close. But yeah, Thunder favorites on the road in game 3. We'll see. Do we have an updated prediction? I'm gonna say Thunder in 6.
Yeah, I'm with you. Thunder in
I
6.
think Pacers take 1 at home and then the Thunder
I'd
take the
love for it to
rest.
go to 7 games though, no matter what.
Me too. And we're in that position now that they have game 1, so where they just gotta hold home court. And hey, maybe we're talking a week from now and the Pacers have one game, both games at home, held home court, and they're up 3-1, getting ready to win the finals. That's what I'm hoping happens.
That would be absurd, to say the least.
And then on the other side in the NHL, we've had through 2 games what looked like possibly the one of the best final series we've ever seen in sports. It was just absurd. Oilers win game 1 in OT after being down 3-1 in the third. The Panthers win game 2 in OT. They were up to a goal in the third, choked it away. Double OT. Brad Marchand hits a game winner for the Panthers to go 5-4, win that game, and then the Panthers go and dominate 6-1 in game 3 at home. Panthers look good. You can argue they should be up 3-0 right now. We know they went up 3-0 against the Oilers last time. The Oilers came back and forced game 7 and lost that, of course. But Panthers are in a really good spot. They play tomorrow night as we're recording this. They play on Thursday night, 6:12. They got, I believe, 2 days off. Yeah, they got off today and yesterday for the series. I thought they were going to be playing yesterday, or the NBA was going to be playing yesterday, but for some reason we had no game on either day. But regardless, I feel confident for the Panthers at my plus 700. I think they're going to be able to close the series out in 5 or 6 games. I really do.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. The Oilers had an electric game one. They win it in overtime. They looks like they have a ton of momentum going forward. Panthers had the lead in game two late, like you said. They give up a goal, but they still find a way in double overtime to win. And ever since that double overtime goal, Edmonton has not responded. And the Panthers game three was just a dominant win in every single aspect. You look at even just looking at the benches, Edmonton's bench. No one was talking to each other. They were just basically sitting in silence. And Florida's bench, they were all talking to each other, electric, happy. And then you see there was like a whole line fighting, basically a 5-on-5 fight. And the Panthers dominated that in game three, too. They won 6-1. They dominated in the fights. They're under the Oilers' skin. They have their number. Sam Bennett, just all around this playoffs, he has been incredible. Probably the best player maybe in the playoffs so far, up there with McDavid. But he's just on fire, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be a free agent in this offseason. And as a Blackhawks fan, I beg them to go and get Sam Bennett. That would
Go get Bennett and Marner. Change the culture.
I don't even know if you need to get Marner. Just go and get Bennett by himself.
Yeah.
I'm happy as can be if we get. I mean, I'm happy if we can get one of them, but Bennett, man, he's
Both.
been
Let's shoot for the
incredible.
Stars. Both.
Let's shoot for the Stars. I
Fuck,
like
go
that.
get Barkov too.
Yeah,
But yeah, Skinner has not been great, or was not great at least, in the last couple games for the Oilers. The goal scoring has been through the roof for the Panthers, and this feels a lot like the Toronto series to me. With the Panthers, they went down 2-0 in Toronto, and then they won Game 3 on the at home in overtime. This one they didn't lose both games on the road, but they lost Game 1 on the road in tough fashion. Game 2 on the road, they steal it, they win in overtime, and then in the next game they dominate. That's exactly what happened after their overtime win in Toronto. And yeah, I'm feeling good about my Panthers. I got Panthers in. I'll say 6. I'll say Panthers in 6. Maybe they'll steal one more.
yeah. No, and I picked Edmonton in 7 in the preview, and I regret that. I'm also going to go with Panthers in 6. I am rooting for the Panthers. Sam Bennett, though, he has a Panthers record 14 goals in 20 playoff games so far.
Ridiculous.
And 4 in the first 3 games against the Oilers.
And we're talking Panthers win the series. We're talking dynasty. 3 straight cups.
Yeah.
They won 2 of them.
Maybe not dynasty, but I think right on the brink of a dynasty.
Yeah,
I think
right.
that you need 3 to be a dynasty and 3
But
championships
they're in the
to be a dynasty.
conversation.
They're 100% in the conversation if they win this.
Yes, no question. But
And
that's about
there's something about, for some reason, Florida hockey teams just being
really good. Yeah.
Like Tampa had not a dynasty, but they were so good for so long, and now you got Florida just being dominant.
I mean, Tampa you could even consider. I mean, they went to 3 straight cups as well. They won 2.
Yeah,
Lost that third
so
one.
they're there too.
But yeah, that's about all I have for this episode.
That is all I have, and hopefully we have a good NBA game tonight.
Yes, hopefully. But that will about do it for this episode of the Engage A podcast. Hit all the links in our description for TikTok, Spotify, social media, and all that good stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see everybody in the next one.